Okay, let's take another question from, this time, Twitter. Here we go. From Drazen Dranas. And he asks, how do you show traction if you are a hardware startup? Great question. Hardware is hard. I have had a couple of hardware companies. Birdie, which was sold to another bigger company recently. That announcement will be coming soon. I have Butterfly, which makes a hardware drop cam competitor, a security camera, but it's meant for small offices, home offices, and it has battery power, so if the power goes off, it can still record, and it can identify what's in the video, like that's a dog, or that's a person, or that's this person, and they charge one price for as many cameras as you have, I believe. So if you put 10 cameras around your establishment, instead of paying like drop cam, it gets very expensive, $100 I think a year per camera, you're up for $1,200. They just say as many cameras as you want, one account will record it all for you. So it's a little bit easier for a business. So it's more like a professional grade. In both of those cases, those companies had a really hard time getting their product to market. In Birdie's case, they barely got it to market. They barely got these smoke detectors out, and it took a long time. And it's very hard. And then in the case of Butterfly, they got it to market, and now they've been showing their monthly reoccurring revenue from those subscriptions going up significantly on a percentage basis, but obviously on a dollar basis, it's early days. The way those two showed progress was by sharing prototypes with people and sharing pre-sales data. I think, and the reason I invested in both those companies was they had decent pre-sales on Indiegogo and Kickstarter campaigns. So I think building a prototype and having at least $1 million in pre-sales on a Kickstarter is the hurdle you need to pass to get angel investing. For me, I wouldn't do hardware again unless the person could show $1 million and that money covered the cost of it. Now I have one other company, Density, which makes a hardware product that has done phenomenal and raised a Series A, and they've done, and maybe some other funding. I can't talk about all the details, but I joined the board of the company. Now that company, they showed not only pre-sales, but they showed continued progress on the technology and the building of an incredible team with people who were formerly at companies like Apple and other companies that had done massively successful at hardware. And I think the way they sold people was when they, the clients they had on an enterprise basis, the value of those contracts would have been very, very significant. So you also have to look at, are you a consumer play or are you an enterprise play? Hardware as a service in the enterprise, a lot easier to justify because you're not trying to make money off the hardware, you're trying to make money off the service. When you're a consumer play like Birdie or Butterfly, much harder. Much, much harder. Even the mighty Pebble, which I think got sold and was almost a wash probably for investors, or maybe a break even. I don't think the investors did very good. Pebble just got so far. And they did $20 million in one campaign, $10 million in another. Was it Pebble that did that? And we had them on the program twice. Look it up, Emmy Award-winning producer Jackie. I think it was the Pebble Watch. And they had just been so far ahead of everybody. But then the Apple Watch came out and it was like on a consumer basis, how do you compete? So I think it really depends on if you're hardware or if you're enterprise. And if you look at the drone space, DJI ran the table on drones so harshly that 3D Robotics, 3DR, stopped competing with them, went into enterprise, started building enterprise software, and now their enterprise software they just announced this past week is compatible with DJI drones. So you kind of have to know if you're going to be able to win the war or not. GoPro did okay for people, Fitbit did okay for people, but both of those companies, even post-going IPO, had lots of challenges. Consumer hardware is absolutely brutal. And when you're up against a Samsung, you're up against an Apple, it's hard. And then even now Google having some hardware with Dropcam, and that division's been Nest has been a disaster for Google. They had to, Tony Fadell left, people hated working there. They haven't been able to release products consistently. So even the mighty Google has had a hard time. Hardware is hard. I don't recommend for your first startup doing hardware unless you are, have a lot of backing and you're just a savant when it comes to building hardware. Even the mighty Elon Musk with Tesla, he had to take that company over because the nitwits who were running it originally almost ran it into the ground because the Roadster, and he's been very public about this, everybody knew the Roadster was costing $50,000 or something outrageous like that per car over what they were charging, and they were charging a lot for that car. I know, I bought one. Hardware is hard. Be very careful. Yes, WordPress. I am so impressed with WordPress. I've been using it for over a decade at calacanis.com. It is the best content management system in the world, and we use it every day for This Week in Startups and calacanis.com. Creating your website on WordPress.com helps others find you, remember you, and connect with you. Blogs are the deep personal connection your business and you for your career need. You don't need any experience. You don't need to hire somebody. You can do this all yourself. WordPress.com guides you through the entire process step by step with hundreds of beautiful designs for you to choose from, with built-in search engine optimization, built-in social sharing, and every plan includes a free custom domain name. No need to pay for a domain name. They're going to give it to you as part of the plan. The business plans let you access hundreds of plugins and themes, and that's one of the strengths of the WordPress ecosystem. Any little opportunity or problem or concept has been tried, and that there is a plugin or a theme ready to go for your unique needs. That's the power of this open source platform, right? Everybody with their plugins is trying new things, and then the best ones bubble up, and you get to leverage them. And you'll see why 28% of all websites run on WordPress. Yes, you heard that right. 28% of all websites run on WordPress because WordPress works. It's the web's most popular and powerful site building platform, bar none. So here's your call to action, everybody. Go ahead and get started today with 15% off any new plan purchase. Go to WordPress.com/twist, WordPress.com/twist to create your website and find a plan that's right for you. That's WordPress.com/twist for 15% off your brand new website. WordPress.com/twist. Thanks again to the WordPress team who have supported me at calacanis.com and thisweekinstartups.com since the beginning. Thank you so much, WordPress. Okay, let's get back to this amazing episode.